Hi, this is Mike. In this video, I want to talk to you about what types of styles are available in Word to work with. There's basically five: paragraph style, character style, there's something called a linked style, and then a list style and table style. And I will show you all of these styles in this video. All right, here I have a document that is essentially unformatted. I'm going to use the different styles to illustrate what they're good for. Let's start with paragraph styles. So a paragraph style incorporates information that applies to the paragraph as a whole. Things that you could do to a paragraph. You can very roughly think of as a paragraph style as incorporating everything you can set using the paragraph part of the ribbon. So indentation and alignment and interline spacing and so forth, and font information. So paragraph style incorporates paragraph information and font information, but the point of it is that it applies that formatting information to the paragraph as a whole. All right, I'll apply a couple of paragraph styles so that you can get the idea. Here I have my insertion point in a paragraph. Over on the right hand side I have the styles pane showing me the styles that are available in this document. Now, in the styles pane, you can see that there are the names of the styles, and then to the right of them is a little glyph. Let me magnify that just a little bit. The little glyph either looks like a little A character, or it looks like a paragraph character, a pilcrow, or there's this combination of pilcrow and A. So those are all three different kinds of styles that we'll play around with in this video. As I say, let's start with the paragraph style. I have three paragraphs in a row here that I want to make into a bulleted list. I'm going to pretend that I need to do that with a style that's called a list bullet. Over here I have list bullet. It's a paragraph style, as you can see from the glyph. So I just put my insertion point anywhere into the paragraph and click list bullet, and it has applied the formatting defined in the style called list bullet to the current paragraph. So what did that mean? Well, I got indentation and I got a bullet character out of it. But it applied that to the paragraph as a whole. So in this case, I'd simply put the insertion point into the paragraph and chose the style. I can actually choose multiple paragraphs and apply a paragraph style to them, and it will take the same formatting information, the indentation and the bullet or whatever, and apply it to all of those selected paragraphs. But the point, of course, is that it's applying the formatting to the paragraph as a whole. I have another paragraph down here that might make a better illustration. In this paragraph, where the one that begins with note, I have a special style that I use to format notes or alerts or whatever you want to call it. The style is called note. Not very original name, but I'll just put the insertion point into the paragraph. I won't select anything, and then I'll click the note style. It's a paragraph style, as I can see from the little glyph. So I'll click that, and the entire paragraph is reformatted. Now, in this case, I got indentation, and as I happen to know, I got line spacing, and the note style says, oh, all the characters in a note paragraph should be italic. So it applied the italics to the entire paragraph all at once, as you saw. So those are paragraph styles. A character style applies formatting just to selected text, and you can think of it as primarily allowing the kinds of formatting that you see over here in just the font section. So that's going to include things like what font name and what font size, whether it's bold or italic, colors, maybe superscript or whatever. It's going to package up all of that formatting information into a single style, and then when you select the terms, the words that you want to apply that formatting to, and choose the character style, which will make more sense once I do it. So let me come down here. So for example, let's say there's this word here. It's part of a sentence that says, there's also a style type known as linked. All right, I'm going to choose this word linked. That's a word that I want to call out. I'm going to format it using the character style. So you see the little A here next to new term. The character style called new term. So I've selected text. I choose new term, and you can see it's going to be kind of blue and italic, and it's applied that character styling only to the selected text because it's a character style, as you can see from the little A next to it. Remember that when I was in the paragraph style, when I was applying paragraph styles, I just had to hit the insertion point anywhere in the paragraph. But for character styles, you have to actually select the text that you want to apply the style to. So I have a couple of other examples here. In my work, whenever we refer in text to something that the user sees on the screen, so a caption or a dialog box title or something, we format that using a particular style. We generally call it UI or UI element, UI meaning user interface, so that the user sees that we're talking about something on the screen. So I've selected this term, Quick Styles Gallery, which actually refers to this portion of the ribbon up here. And I will apply the character style called UI element. Okay, or here's another example. This is the styles pane. That's actually the name of the pane. So when I refer to the styles pane, I'm going to apply the UI element character style to that name. So the Quick Styles Gallery or the Styles pane. In both cases now I'm using the UI element character style. But you saw that I had to actually select all of the text that I wanted to apply the character style to. So I can apply it to I can select one character and apply it there. I can select big swatches of text, but it's only going to apply character style to whatever I selected. Okay, I'm going to now apply a style called heading 1 to this first paragraph, which is a heading. Then I'm going to do it down here, linked styles, apply heading 2 to that, and list styles, I'll apply heading 2 to that. Okay. What you saw me do looked a lot like applying a paragraph style, which is kind of what I was doing. I was just putting the insertion point into the paragraph. I was choosing the heading, the style that I wanted, and it applied the formatting to the paragraph as a whole. As you saw, it applied, well, I happen to have applied line spacing, but it also applied a Cambria font and a particular size, 14 I guess, and a color, and bold. All of those things were defined in heading 1. So it treated it like a paragraph style. But if you actually look at the style over here in the styles pane, you can see that it has this weird little glyph that's a combination of paragraph and character. This is what's called a linked style. So a linked style is a hybrid. It can be treated as a paragraph style, which is what you saw me do here, or you can apply it as a character style. If you select text and then apply the linked style. So if I select paragraph styles and I apply heading 2, which is a linked style, it will treat it like a character style. I'll do it again here, I'll select text and then apply heading 2. Now, I'll do this to show you the contrast. If I don't select any text and choose one of these linked styles, it will treat it as a paragraph style. That's not what I want to do, so I'm going to undo that. Instead, I want to apply it just as a character style, so I have to select some text and apply it. So the purpose of a linked style like this is primarily for things like run-in headings and so forth. Now, this is contingent on having this option. There's a style here, there's an option here called Disable Linked Styles, which I currently have disabled. So I've disabled the Disable Linked Styles option. If I choose this option, then it treats linked styles as paragraph styles only. That's generally what I do, just so that I don't get confused about what style is what. But let me finish applying this last style down here, heading 2. Okay, so paragraph styles apply to entire paragraphs. Character styles apply font type information just to select the text. Linked styles, if they are enabled, either are treated as paragraph styles or as character styles, depending on how you apply them. There are a couple of other styles that I will talk about because they exist. There is something called a list style. A list style allows you to define sort of the layout of a list. What character, like what bullet or number character appears at each level of a list item, what color that character is, how far away it is from the text, and so forth. These do not appear over here in the styles pane. They're kind of buried up here in this list part of the ribbon. So bear with me. List styles are sort of a complicated topic that I will talk about in more detail in a separate video. But just to give you an idea, here they are in action. So I choose this dialog. I don't know what this thing is, pull down menu, whatever. And down at the bottom you can see there's a section for list styles that I've already defined. So I'm going to apply the style called custom bullet to this style. And you saw that I got this, in this case, a diamond character for the bullet. Uh, just to reiterate, list style allows you to define sort of the look and layout of the number or bullet sections of a list. I'll show you a different application of a list style. Here I have a numbered list. I'll apply that. So for the first level of the number per this list style, you use Roman numerals, and I get this nice indentation behavior based on the tab key. If I choose these items and hit the tab key, it says, oh, these must be second level list items, and it's indented them a particular distance, and it's using uppercase alpha characters. That's all defined as part of the list style. So list styles exist. As I say, they're somewhat complicated, and I'll deal with them another time, but you should be aware that they exist, and that they are not represented here in this styles pane, nor up here in the styles gallery. Finally, there's table styles, which you may have actually used without even knowing it. If you put the insertion point anywhere in a table, you get these table tools, design and layout. If you go to the design tab, there's this whole section of table styles, so you can pull that guy down. And there's all of these different looks for tables. These are all individual table styles that already exist in Word. And they have kind of wacky names. So grid table 4, accent 2, or grid table 3, accent 4, something like that. Not very intuitive names. But you can just choose one and apply it, and then you've applied a table style to a table. And again, the table styles are not over here in the styles pane, and they're not up here. Well, they are up here in the ribbon, but they're not in the quick styles gallery. What's interesting about table styles is that, first of all, there's a bunch of them that already exist, and you can modify them. So, for example, maybe you like this particular table style, but you want to change the color of the top row or something like that, you can do that. Or you can create table styles from scratch for your own purposes. It's kind of an involved process, but it's perfectly possible. So those are the 5 types of styles that you can work with in Word. Paragraph styles, character styles, this hybrid thing called a linked style, then there are list styles, and there are table styles. So that's it. Thank you.